Okay, I've just had like another drop again. It's priests of the light and dark. Um, God was kind of dropping to do with the frequencies again. Like Cologne church. Like only bloodline frequencies can see this other realm. Um, it's like a finely tuned esoteric bloodline. I don't think they can like see this dark place, and it relates to obviously Cain's bloodline. Again, like these churches, well, not churches, that's an actual abomination. These cathedrals kind of had these portals between light and dark, so like the average person could only see like the light part, like the probably the pretense of it being a church, and these bloodlines, like the very people that were administering their sermons or whatever in these cathedrals also could see this other world within the same realm. It's really freaky and very hard HR Giga, like very alien like. So they could actually see two worlds at once, from what I understand, and it has to be like from a bloodline frequency. So, like inbreeding, maybe those that worship Satan, I don't know, but or esoteric practices, as in science. I'm still trying to work it out, but I get the idea that this is a dark underworld within a light overworld, if you know what I mean. So they can actually see this world because of their esoteric knowledge and also their bloodlines. As I say, God's doing a lot of work with me as far as recognising caudal vibrations of people, and like where their stances are. I can actually recognise now if somebody's like into Satanism, or like they're like I think it's mainly sort of Satanists and people who are witches and stuff. I recognise a lot of witches locally, like everywhere, especially like in mainstream shops. As I say, it's like he keeps showing me this cologne. I think he says that I could actually see the fact it looks unworldly, but worldly at the same time, maybe because of my bloodline. He's doing a lot of work, especially with Tom York at the moment, going on about it like he's got like puppets, like that he would, like in his bloodline, like his forefathers somewhere would animate puppets out of like bodies and bones and stuff like that. And he was in a brutal time, must have been medieval. The fact that his spirit is like kind of rooted back in some time, and like he's always been like a kind of spitting kind, like that kind of like especially in 1997 when it was a bit more sort of I don't know, cartoon like, like the sort of related to like those shadow puppets, like sometimes he wiggles like a shadow puppet. So that's another thing. I can't remember what else he was saying. Saying like something to do with a relative was amputated. I know that our bloodlines cross because God's making this like really prevalent at the moment, and it's something in my nature that I'm very empathetic to people, like with like problems with their physical being, like whether they've like had like strange things happenings to them, or whether they're autistic, like that's like a kind of special bloodline gift, if you know what I mean. Like very caring towards those kind, and like that his relative had that, and he's from like an Irish background in his real bloodline. So yeah, all these things that are coming to fruition. Yeah, and like something to do, dropped like, I was watching like these documentaries about these Talmudic Jews, just basically got the feeling that God had left the building, and like Jesus kind of warned about these whitewashed tombs, like it's like God did leave the building, there was more about the rituals and the outward thing. Not all Jews, but the Talmudic Jews, And, I was watching this program again. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I saw a lot of these youths, like arguing about whether they should carry something electrical on a certain day or a certain time in a certain place. Again, like Talmudic rules and regulations. And there was just something a bit off, like the way they were hovering around each other. Like I thought they looked like they're like in Ibiza, because they was in like this balcony, and like they had this weird kind of glint in their eyes towards each other. And then like God kind of put like a spirit on, like the backsides, like there are things going on in their brotherhood that's a bit sort of suspect, like that they're bumming, basically, like, and I probably will get banned for this, but they're bumming each other now. I don't know, where this extreme kind of behaviour comes from. Whether they've got no choice in it and the hostages within this regime. I don't know, but they had this weird glint, and it looked like they was hanging over the balcony smoking, some of them, these Jews or whatever, and like they like they looked like they was leching for girls, but there wasn't. They was like kind of looking towards each other with a strange glint. So like this is another thing that God's let me know about. So I know that they are hedged in by wrong kind of Jew. So I think like the snake has, the Cain tribe has got into their world quite well, and I think that they've really fooled them, and I think it's a shame, so God wants them to get back to the Torah-based mindset. First Testament, he keeps telling me, and then like it should all be all okay. They need rooting out the wrong uns. So that's all I've got to say.